I think the focus would be to how do I get one program from ground zero to the mountaintop, and the process it takes to get there, sacrificing all those good, nice adjectives that describe a football season, a winning one. And not just you, but even, coaches that seem like they got squads that it would benefit them are upset by decisions. And so I don't know where you guys can take it from here. But
yeah, man.
Heart go out to you.
I'm listening to this
situation, to say the least.
They may ask me to speak, but the FHSAA,
the Jacksonville teams,
the FHSAA has actually divided. And I'm gonna pull this in here. The FHSAA has divided. I was in this space listening to them. They had me on the speakers on there. The FHSAA has divided Florida into, and we talked about this before, into suburban and metro. But it almost is if they split the state down the middle. It's almost as if they had split the state down the middle. Basically saying, hey, listen, man, we'll never win a state championship. We'll never. And that's Luke talking in the background. It seemed like the way they split it up. Was 234 to 228. That's almost an equal split. So there's going to be some teams on that metro end that still never win. Still never get a chance to win a title. So it doesn't really make sense. Y'all just getting here, man. The FHSAA has decided to split the state of Florida up into two different groups, Suburban and Metro. The Metro will have 228 schools. The Suburban will have 234 schools. And basically they're putting the better teams in the Metro and the but who's at the bottom of the 234? They're still not going to have a chance to win. I'm gonna talk in this space for a second, man, and we'll get on. We'll talk about this.
We don't want to be a part of this shit. And we can opt out. It's not a state mandate that we have to be in the FHSAA. We can stop.
So, once again, there's nothing that you have heard that you can stand with when it comes to this ruling. Nothing at all. No help at all. Nothing.
It is.
That's the voice that's Luke talking.
I know. I'm just saying that's terrible.
Everybody knew what this was all about. I'm telling you, I'm sitting there talking to executives at the FHSAA. I'm like, yo, is this gonna pass? Oh no, it's not gonna pass.
That's Lucas Skywalker talking, man. He pissed. He said that that Dade County may separate from it.
The head guy spoke today, and when he spoke to the board, he was like, "Yo, I'm not getting
population." I think the vote was 7-9.
A good idea. Get the head guy of the FHSAA.
I don't know. I don't think. No. I don't think it's good at all. I'm gonna talk in the space for a second. Y'all can listen to me talk in the space, but
I would say the executives and the people who work for the FHSAA, they did not sign on to this. It was them board members. But then again, the people of the FHSAA, they handpick who they want to put on that board. Ben Hanks was originally on the board, and Ben Hanks said, I can't do it, and he got off the board. And Ben Hanks told them, hey, y'all, once y'all put Luke, I'm going to nominate Luke to go on the board. They were like, hell no. We're going to bring fucking Malcolm X up here.
Not Malcolm X. But I I got a question, Luke. I got a question for you, Luke. And one thing, they split it into 228 teams, right, going to Metro, and 234 teams going to Suburban, right? There's still a bunch of teams in that Metro section that's going to get their ass kicked. That's not going to have a chance to win. So, yeah. So who's ever the bottom 100 teams are, they still about to, yeah. They just put them in a tough situation. But Luke, tell me this: if so, say Dade County, Broward County separate themselves from the FHSAA, what would it look like? What would that look like? You've created leagues before. Like, what would it look like?
To separate, they would need to separate with Hillsborough. They would need to separate with Palm Beach. They would need to separate with everybody who they talk to.
He breaking up a little bit.
So you would need Hillsborough, Orange County, you would need all that to say, okay, we're gonna.
He's breaking up a little bit. He's saying they'll have to separate with West Palm. They'll have to separate with other counties, and then just create their own. So if y'all just getting here, man, the FHA has voted to FHSAA.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm running my mouth.
No, you all right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, I don't know what part, but I got muted, but I'll just say, it would look like this. You would need Orange County, Hillsborough County, Duval County. You would need Naples. You would need Palm Beach County. All of them to do similar to what they were thinking about doing in the pandemic, which is what they kind of did. And then those different counties then create a scenario where they'll create a playoff system in a state championship. With what, to answer the question, what I would like to see is similar to what Drew was talking about when it comes to how the format of Arizona. At the end of the year, you play in these playoffs. At the end of the year, you create a scenario. Yeah, you play playoffs, but then now you have a super champion.
Okay, so I may see. I'm more listening to that because I may have to talk in there. I'm gonna get my boy Rich on here. We're gonna talk about it a little bit.
You don't separate it from North versus South. You separate it. You bracket it no different than they bracket NCAA basketball. You get bracketed based on your RPI rating, max prep rating, and then now you have a round robin situation where you crown the state champion, the undisputed state champion, with an 8-team system.
Right.
Now all those other districts, they will have their championships. Now this is a totally different thing. Or you do it similar to what we do, Streeter, in Little League football.
Okay.
You have Division A, and you have Division B. And so now if you want to play in Division A, you can get your ass over in Division A, and the B teams go over there. How do you do it? You say, okay, based on last 2 years of wins and losses, strength of schedule, that puts you in Division A. And so if you got 2 years of getting your ass whooped, then that moves you down to Division 2. And then if you're kicking ass in Division 2, you can then now you have to move up to Division A. It's no different.
Right. That makes it fair. And I don't think fair is what they're shooting for here. Obviously, what they just created D1, D2, Pop Warner again. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I was a kid playing in high school and I say, hey, I won a state championship in high school, and I knew it was a whole level of X-Men over there that we didn't have to play, I wouldn't feel proud. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I wouldn't feel proud. But we saw this coming. I didn't think it was going to get past that fast.
No, we saw that. Let me ask you, Streeter. You. I mean, you the guru of this shit around here. Do you really? You know all the football? You know the kids. You know the parks. You know everything. You know it when you know who, where, and what.
I told you the black.
Do you really put all these teams in one district? Is it really fair? I guess that's my question. Would it be really fair to put all these Jackson, Northern, Edison, Carroll City, Central, Northwestern, Columbus, Killian, all in one district? Do you think that would be? Do you think that's fair?
You know what it made me think of, Luke? It made me think of when the district was. What was the district, Luke? It was Northwestern, Central, Carroll City, when they were all in the same district, right?
6-8.
And we finally got out of that. You know what I'm saying? My guy finally got us out of that. What's his name? And separated it because they were eating each other, right? They were eating each other, and one was making it out of there, and it was like not fair. You know what I'm saying? So we got away from that from a couple of years, and then they just created it again on a bigger scale. No, it's not fair. No, it's not fair at all. That's what I'm saying. It's not fair. They split the state almost in half. They didn't take they didn't take like 100 tough teams and then kept the other 300. They split the state almost in half. So they basically just sacrificed a lot of schools and said, okay, well, these schools, like, we're gonna send y'all over there with the Northwesterns and St. Thomas, and then they're never gonna win a championship. Never.
Y'all make it sound like they pulled the Hatfield and McCoys, but not just to jump in real quick, I just want to say what's up to the Black Cat Summerall. We looking for the Black John Madden X. Hey, Mr. Streeter, how you doing?
What's going on, bro?
Thank you for the information on the IOD. I've been rocking that, so appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate you, man, with the old commercial, man. IOD investor die.
Already, man, all day. Y'all make sure y'all go catch Kane Bill with Football Bill, Mr. Streeter and X on YouTube. Wonderful interviews about the Canes, goes without saying.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir. My question to you is, when Luke say it ain't fair, right? When Unc say it ain't fair, I take it back to when I played. And we had one district that we played, and it was a majority of black district. They had O.D. Wyatt, Dunbar, going down the line.
Mm-hmm. We
killed them in football. But when they got to basketball season, it was a different story. You know what I mean? They was running things. So another level of his anger or him being upset, I'll say, is they didn't do it with every sport. They just did it with football. So it makes it that's more undertone of, prejudice, I feel like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at the same time, I'm bringing that up because those black schools that we played, when we played them, we had the better facilities, we got the better coaches. When it came to basketball, they repaid the favor. So is it fair?
No.
Looking at it from that perspective? If they would have did every sport.
Right. I mean, what? Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I'm right up in Rhode Island, so I've been trying to keep up with, Florida football, back home in my area, with the high school. So when I was looking at it, on the computer, it's like how many teams came out of Miami? I think about 4, 5, 6 teams came out to go to the championship. What they trying to do, they trying to narrow that list down to try to give everybody an opportunity to play in the championship. But regardless, the championship's still going to come through Miami because they have the superior teams. Like you have a superior team in, about 2 or 3 in Jacksonville. you have Bowles and
I think Luke finna kill him.
Trinity, but most of the powers coming from South Florida. So they trying to make it, easier for the other weak teams to make it to the championship. Until then, you have Central, you have Northwestern, you have Heritage playing against Northwestern. You have all these big teams keep making it to the championship. I guess they trying to say they tired of seeing the Miami teams there, and they want to give other teams a chance.
Yeah, there ain't no guess. That's exactly what they say. So, I mean, that's why I was asking Mr. Streeter, does he? I mean, they the way they did it, I think we can all agree, nasty. There's some snakish actions going on there for sure. But let's say the intent is what Black Sand is saying. They want variety in the championship games. They want more cities from throughout the state than just Miami to come up to Tallahassee or Gainesville or what have you. So,
man, y'all just crying about it. Y'all stop that.
Glad you here. OG point here. Hey,
John Drummer Cannon. So listen, man. Rich, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
Let me get my headphones on.
In this whole debate,
Man.
Passing out about an hour and a half. Would love for him to
You
interject.
live now?
Yeah, we live, bro. We've been live. We live. We sitting here the whole time. I just had them listening to that. Yeah, what's going on? So if y'all just getting in here, man, the FHSAA has, and I haven't seen the list of teams, but basically split things up in between Suburban and Metro. And I haven't seen the list of teams. So, but to me, it's right off the back, if they're saying that because Hialeah is a city school, that they have to play against the Miami Northwesterns, I think it's still unfair for a bunch of schools, I believe. It's still unfair for a bunch of schools.
Yeah. I agree with that. And that's a great way to look at that. And this is off of the back of what? Like, what caused this abrupt split to happen? It's all in the numbers. It's because over the past 10 years, 89% of the chips, state championships, were won by what they would consider metro teams. So teams that are, Dade, Broward County, Seminole County, Orange County, Hillsborough County, places where, the population is more dense and you have more talent.
Right.
And what I would say to that, and I'm just comparing the logic to logic. I remember watching Jacksonville Bowls, and they had, I think it was Coach Corky Rogers. I still remember his name. And he would go up there and win year after year after year after year. And I mean, it wasn't even close. He would spank those boys from, all the other small schools. And I mean, just made it look easy. And American Heritage, actually, when they had Sony Michel and that crew down there, they used Bowls as a measuring stick, if you will, on how good they were, because they had won so many state championships.
Right.
And lo and behold, what American Heritage did was kept playing them, kept them on the schedule in order to improve, because iron sharpens iron, and they eventually got better. And of course, they got better talent going there, but you really can't even say, talk about recruiting, because Bowls is a private school. So they recruit around the Jacksonville area too.
Right.
And they just got better. They got their ish together and they made it work. And now you see American Heritage competing for state championships year over year. So that is, I guess, the question that everybody has in South Florida is, when you had the the Pahokis of the world, you had Brevard County. So Brevard County has what's that school? Not Cocoa, right?
Yeah.
You had the Cocos of the world going to the state championship. You had Bulls going, it was never a question of, maybe this region is winning too many state championships, but now it's a question. And the other part about it too is this: look at the breakdown of how many counties we have. So we got 67 counties.
Right.
Of that, you have 495 schools, right? And then you're gonna have metro, and then you're gonna have your what do they call it? Suburban, right? They're just basically another word for country.
Right.
And in the metro class, you're gonna have 8 counties. You're gonna have Duval, Seminole, Orange, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward, right?
Right.
And that's only 228 schools, so it's almost about half. And then the other 59 counties in Florida is going to be 234 schools, and they're going to have 4 different classifications: class 1A to 4A. Right?
See that was my question. Right, 495 schools. They broke it down, 228 metro, like you just said, and they just said Duval, Seminole, Orange, Hillsborough, Pinellas. Go ahead, complete your thought, and I'll go after that.
Well, what I was going to say is they run into another problem because now them boys in Lakeland gonna eat. Them boys in the muck gonna eat. I mean, it's gonna be now, Lakeland, Lake Gibson. I mean, they're gonna be playing House of the Blind for state championships every year. And my thing is, how does that hurt those kids when it comes to recruiting?
Yeah, right. They're gonna have to play outside of their district, and I don't know how that part is going to work. For the people who just getting in here, the FHSAA has voted to decide to basically split Florida into 2 classes: city versus country. Right? That's what we're gonna say, Rich.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, city versus country. And basically, it's I'll break down the numbers for you. It's I think it's 234, it's 228 schools, metro, which will be Duval, Seminole County, Orange, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. Just counties now. So basically, yeah. Now, 234 suburban. Let me see. They didn't make up the classifications. They didn't put those down there.
It's all the other 59 counties in Florida.
Right. It's the rest.
It's everybody else.
Okay, so that's just split right there. But listen, they still saying screw. It doesn't make sense to me because they're still saying screw the Highland Gardens, screw even schools like
Coleman, G. Holmes Braddock, Coral Park.
We can even go further. Jackson. We can even go further up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Miami, New Orleans. Maybe New Orleans can't. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans don't go to state championship all the time.
No.
Yeah, so they're still saying screw a lot of schools, but they freed up whoever they wanted to free up.
Right.
So you're trying to tell me Kamani McLean, like out of Lakeland, will never get to play? You know what I'm saying?
I can't even imagine the type of receivers that they gonna have matched up against the number 1 corner in the nation. I mean, he's probably gonna be out of the game by halftime. He's playing both ways now, right?
Right.
This man about to have 1,000 receiving yards, 50 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. I mean, it's. And then you're gonna put that asterisk next to his name. You're gonna say, yeah, he got we see the hips, great hips for a corner, great length, great size,
right,
good speed. But that asterisk is, but he played House of the Blind last week, and he had 5 interceptions. I mean, if he played Tampa Jesuit, would he have the same thing? If he played American Heritage, would that game have been the same? So now you're gonna have those prep programs like that. They're gonna have to play schools in Georgia, more schools in Georgia, like Lake Gibson did last year. or just figure something else out, because um the, the competition isn't there within their classification. And then you also got other sports. You got basketball, you got track and field. You have other sports that you have to take into account as well. And it seems like everybody is just up in arms about football.
Right. And it's only football. No, but listen, they only did football.
That's it.
They only did football.
Oh, they only did football. So they're not doing
they didn't do the other sports. Now that part right there is weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they only did football. So it's I guess, man, listen, Luke is in there saying that, hey, listen, this may be a chance for people just to separate, get out of there.
That's it.
Say, listen, we don't got to be under the FHSAA and just get out of there and let y'all play D2 football or whatever it is they're trying to do.
Right. And maybe that's not a bad thing. I mean, because we talk about NIL.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Right. If y'all want us to be separate, okay, well, let us be separate then. Since we the ones dealing with NIL and all this business,
I mean, it's still bad for those schools like you said, like Hialeah, that still got to be, in this classification. I mean, they're why would a kid want to play football there? Right. How would you feel the team? So it's going to be tough for those coaches, but it allows for structure to be built around the talent that is within those 8 counties. And, we could redefine what NIL means for high school kids. And we could also redefine what coaches get paid. Right. So you might have some coaches who can get some NIL deals themselves because, they're winning coaches. So, right. so the bad part is you're not going to have as many state championships won by teams that darn well should be playing, further in the playoffs.
Right. I mean, I just wanted to jump back on here, man, because we had just got off here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just wanted to jump back on here, and because it's such a hot topic, I know everybody's going to be talking about it today. Basically, I hear everybody saying, what does it mean? Basically, they split the Florida into city and country. I'll give you the counties again. The FHSAA has voted 9-7 to split Florida into 2 classes, Metro and Rural. The Metro class is 228 schools now. Mm-hmm. And the counties are Duval, Seminole. They didn't handpick schools. They just did counties. Duval, Seminole, Orange, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade. And basically, there are schools in Miami-Dade that, basically you just threw a bunch of schools in there with St. Thomas, mm-hmm. Northwestern, Central. There are schools at the bottom of that list that are never going to win a title or even sniff one. Not even. There's 100 schools on there that's not even going to get close.
Never again.
Yeah, they're not even going to get close. I mean, but basically, dog, they've made it into a 8-weekend, a 4-weekend thing now, and now they get more money with the FHSAA. It's like D1, D2, and Pop Warner. You done created 2 events now, and you get double the money. And hey, the rest of y'all figure that out.
Figure it out. And I do see some questions in the chat. One question was, of course, Stacy Hall. He says, "So, what division would Brevard County be in?" They're gonna be with the Country Boys. So Coco gonna eat. Rockledge. I think Rockledge is in Brevard, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I know it's close to Lakeland. I think so.
So Rockledge is gonna eat. So they're gonna eat. Also, I see in the chat, Orange gonna eat, Orlando area. The one thing I'll say with Orlando is, historically, Orlando has been eating. So if you look back at them, the old Boone and Edgewater, they've always kind of been doing their thing. Popka's always kind of been doing this thing. Even some schools in Kissimmee has kind of made far playoff runs, and they're 8A schools. So like Apopka's an 8A school. Sanford Seminole is an 8A school. So they kind of been eating already. And I would almost say Jones has been eating as of late as well. And I would almost I would say nothing really changes. Like Dr. Phillips, Dr. Phillips is in Orange County as well, and nothing really changes for them. Look, because they done group the city boys together, so we just gonna have to beat each other's head on each other's head. So maybe it's one of those things where if you are Northwestern, you don't put a Hialeah on your schedule. You go play Jones. You go play Dr. Like.
Wow, what you thinking? What's your thinking on that?
Well, if you have to play your 5 district games, those are games that you just got to play. But now, if Hillsborough is in your same league, and Orange County is in your same league, then maybe iron sharpens iron once again. So maybe you see more Dade Broward teams play teams that are from Orange County. Maybe that happens. Of course, logistically, you got to figure it out, but maybe it happens.
Gotcha.
I see for Brevard, Cocoa, Rockledge, Merritt Island, Palm Bay. Palm Bay is historically Palm Bay has always been pretty good. Rockledge has always been pretty good. Cocoa has always been pretty good. Merritt Island has been up and down, but those other 3 schools have always been good. So if you are in that Country Boy League, man,
the Country Boy League.
It's going to be some teams, a lot of teams where you play if you are Cocoa and Rock, especially when you get to the playoffs, where the game is over by halftime. I'm just saying.
Bro, I mean, it's funny to me, like 9-7. Who's on these boards? It's weird. It's weird how, man, who's on it? Like Luke just said, they wouldn't let him be on the board. Like, who makes these decisions, bro? Like, and it seems like it's never in the favor. We just got out of Carol City, Northwestern, Central, all being in the same district.
Same district.
We did that for 3 years, 2 or 3 years. We didn't do it for long at all.
Right.
All of them going to state.
Right. That proved the point.
Jumped out of that, and now they just said, listen, bro, we're just going to do it on a larger scale. We'll put all y'all in the pool together.
Right. And that could be good, but like I mentioned, you're going to have to figure out logistics. And then you also got to think, if we're that much more elite than the rest of the state, then if we playing chess and they playing checkers, why are we in the same league and why are we governed by the same people?
That's a good question.
I mean,
that's a good question. They've been talking about separating. We'll see what happens. So listen, man, I just wanted to get on here and talk about this. It's such a hot topic, and I knew people wouldn't understand what was going on. Before we get out of here, bro. Basically, after an hour, 40 minutes of discussion, 9-7 vote, the Florida High School Athletic Association passed a proposal to split the state's football member schools into 4 Metro and 5 Suburban classifications on Monday morning from the Robert Hughes FHSAA building. A change is effective this coming football season. The proposal uses population density of Florida, 67 counties, to divide the 495 member schools into 4 Metro classifications, 4 Suburban classifications, and 1 rural classification.
So that means that rural classification is all by itself.
That's what I'm not saying. So it's 3 of them.
So it's really 3.
Right.
And so the 4 Metro, and this is where, so I guess it's going to be Dade, Broward, Hillsborough, Pinellas.
The rural classification has 33 schools. They snuck that in at the bottom.
Yeah.
Who? I wonder what county policy was broke. Yeah, what county are those?
Right. And then I could see Seminole and Orange, but now Palm Beach. Is it going to be Palm Beach and Duval? Because Dade and Broward are going to be together.
What you mean in the rural? The rural?
Yeah, because they said they're going to split it up by 4 Metro. So the Metro comprises of 8 counties, and then they're going to have 4 different classifications for those counties.
Got you. So yeah, it look like they finna make Dade eat each other again.
Right.
But all right, man. I just wanted to jump on here for a second, man, and talk about that. I appreciate you, bro. Basically, they split it into. I've been saying 2 classes, but it's 3 classes. They split it into. It's actually 3 classes they split it into, but one only has 33 schools in it. It must be the House of the Blind, the Sisters of the Poor.
I know, man.
Those guys. But before we get out of here, anything you want to say, bro?
Nah, I just want to say, of course, Footballville Nation. Keep doing what you do, Streeter. We're there. We're to pass content along about high school sports, about the college teams that we love, and it's all love. Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. All right.
All right. Take it easy.
Oh, yo.